All right, and we are live. All right,
So
we are
share
live on.
live.
Yep. Yes, just share the live, guys. We are now live. A few good men. Oh, exciting conversation today. Exciting conversation. So we just want to give people the opportunity to come on the live so we can get the ball rolling. Unfortunately, we're starting with one-man shot. Willem, he had a bit of challenge being able to make the timing, but he promised that if once he can make it, he will come on. So we may or may not see him. Sam, how are you feeling?
I am great.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Guys, come on the live. Come on the live. Just giving people the opportunity to jump on, and we start promptly at 8 o'clock. Sam, I'm really excited for this topic. Huh?
Well, I've gotten a lot of messages about it as well, and I am excited, and some of my friends are excited as well. So let's see how it develops.
Yep. Yep.
We're excited to hear what our viewers and listeners have to say as well on the topic.
Okay. Okay.
And
Julian, good
as
night.
usual,
Right.
Julian is here. Yes.
Look, I really like Julian. his,
Yeah.
his picture profiles is
Yeah,
hilarious.
Julian is here.
Yeah, but I went to. I'm not sure if you remember me, but I think I was in form either 2 or 3 when he was in form 5. I'm not sure if you remember me.
Mm.
Julian, you'll indicate if you do. Guys, we already have our guest in the back end, so we start promptly at 8 o'clock. Oh, so just say remember me.
Nice.
Yeah. Julian, your father flogged me once in school. I got a good flogging, for flapping, when you flap your shirt. Oh, but anyway, that tell him I said hi, I appreciate it. You were 3 years after me. Oh, well, 3 years younger. Okay. But I remember when you were in form 5, I was probably in form 3 or form 2. I remember. Yeah, clearly. All right, we have 11 people on the live, guys. We're starting promptly at 8 o'clock. My time is 7:59. Talking to any young man. Exactly, that's what he is. That's exactly what he says. Yeah. Starting promptly at 8 o'clock, guys. We have 12 people on the live. Guys, come on in, share the live. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. All right, guys, unfortunately, and we're 8 o'clock. And here we go. All right, guys, hello and welcome to another live interaction with a few good men, a show where you get genuine responses from real men about real life issues. All right, I'm your host, Colin Campbell, and joining me tonight we have Samuel James. Now, unfortunately, William James could, due to some personal challenges, he was unable to make the live tonight, but he did promise that if he could come in, he definitely will. All right, guys. Tonight's topic, guys, is a dicey one. I'm eager to get into it. Just give people the opportunity to get in. Share the live, guys. All right, let's get straight into tonight's topic. Sam, you ready for that topic, bro?
I can never be too ready for it, but.
All right, guys. Now tonight's topic, we get to critique the feminist movement by daring to ask the questions: has the mostly white-led feminist movement failed Black women? All right, this is tonight's question. Now, I want to inform our viewing audience that tonight's show will be 1.5 hours, and it will just be pure educational. Yes, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be interactive. And we are going to be entertaining questions from the comment section in the last 30 minutes. All right. So guys, save your questions for the last 30 minutes of the live. Our guest is already in the back room and we're ready to bring her in. I also want to add to that, please be respectful, guys. No cursing in the live. Please, guys, bear with me. No cursing in the live. In the comment section, really, that's what I should say.
And respect each other.
Yes, and definitely, this is going to be a respectable conversation. We have our guest. She will get to introduce herself in a minute, but I just really need to get through to set the foundation for this live, right? Now, in order to set the foundation for this discussion, we must first define what is feminism. And according to the Oxford Dictionary, a feminist is a person who supports the belief that women should have the same rights and opportunities as men. All right? Okay, so I'm seeing in James. Oh, guys, I'm going to pay attention to the comment section. I'll be paying attention to the comment section in the last 30 minutes. Okay, guys? Right, so let me just redefine or define what is a feminist. Is a person who supports the belief that women should have the same rights and opportunities as men. So, Sam, by that definition, I think we all could say we are feminists, right?
Absolutely, I'm a person,
and
I
say a
believe
woman.
that. Yeah, it's a person. So.
Oh, exactly. I mean, mind you, I do have issues with the term feminist. Okay, but we'll get into that as we go later on down. So it's also important to note that the term feminism was coined by a man. He's actually a racist Frenchman who was a philosopher and a sociologist. His name is Charles Foyer. Okay, guys, you can look him up. Charles Foyer, a French philosopher and a socialist. You could also read his biography and really know about him in a book called The Critique of the Work in Modern French Thought. They critique a number of socialists and philosophers, and he's one of them. Okay, guys? Just to give a bit of background to the feminist movement. Now, the leaders of the Seneca Falls Convention were Elizabeth Cady Stanton and her friend Lucretia Mott. Now, these two were abolitionists who met 10 years earlier at London's World Anti-Slavery Convention, right, in 1840, actually. And I just want to make sure people understand that because you're called an abolitionist as a white person doesn't mean that you're not racist, okay? Because as we go along here, you're going to see that the two founders of the feminist movement, I'll give over the names, Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott, two white ladies who met at an anti-slavery convention, right, in London, and they were rejected entry. They was denied entry, actually, Sam. Interesting, Sam?
Yeah.
So therefore, because of that rejection, they decided, you know what, we've had enough of women being subjected and being belittled and not being able to have position. Because back in the day, in the 18th century, women were not allowed to own land. Women were not allowed to be in politics. They were not allowed to vote. Basically, they need to be housewives, Sam. Isn't that sad?
Wow. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's really sad. Now, because of it, they decided that, you know what? They're going to hold this convention, and it is called the Seneca Falls Convention, which was held in New York. And they decided to come up with a constitution or a declaration of sentiments that would outline women's rights. Mm-hmm. Guys, bear with me. I really need to set the tone for this conversation, okay? So the three, I'm going to give comments that the three founders of the feminist movement made towards Black women and to Black people, all right? Now, Elizabeth Stanton, she made several racist comments, including that women who were educated and white were more deserving of the vote than former slaves. Let me say that again. She said that women who were educated and white were more deserving of the vote than former slaves. Susan B. Anthony is another woman who is a feminist, right? It says that, well, she's actually an American social reformer and a women's rights activist who played a vital role in the women's suffrage movement, right? But here's her exact words, and I'm quoting here, and you could do your research, guys. I will cut off my right arm of mine before I ever work or demand the ballot for the Negro and not the woman. Okay? Sam, you hear that?
Yeah, I read that
Wow.
too.
You read that too?
It's amazing.
Sam, when you read that, what came to your mind?
The lengths people would go to hold on to certain privileges,
Mm,
even if it means suffering your own kind.
right.
It's just amazing.
Wow. Wow. You know, Sam, even in the modern era, we had people like Gloria Steinem, right? Gloria Steinem, a very famous feminist. For over half a century, she's been, being an activist for women's rights and for the feminist movement. A white woman, and she basically was an informant for the CIA. So what she did, under the disguise of being a feminist, she infiltrated the Black Power movement, especially the women-led Black Power movement, and she was basically an informant. There's an interview widely circulated on YouTube that you could even go and look at. Okay, guys? So I just really want to set this conversation because we are now daring to ask the question, has the feminist movement failed Black women? So guys, let's get into it. We have our guest in the back end. I really would just like to bring her in and for her to introduce herself. All right. And we're adding her. Hello, 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 Natural.
Blessed good night, beautiful king
Good
men. How are
night.
you?
Blessings.
And whoever else is on the line, good night, good night.
Yes. Before I introduce our guest tonight, guys, I just would like to say that the show will be an hour and 30 minutes, and in the last 30 minutes of the show, we'll be entertaining questions. Now, for the people who are just coming on, we're missing one of the few good men, Willem James. He had some a bit of challenges, but he promised that if he could make it, he definitely will. All right. All right. So let me introduce our guest. Now, our guest tonight is affectionately known as Natural. All right. She defines herself as a gender advocate, and a teacher, a craftswoman, an entrepreneur, and a medicinal herbs advocate. Welcome, Natural. Welcome. Welcome to the live. This is
Thank you.
Among friends. Yeah.
Thank you. A few good men. And then you're going to tell me one of them is not here to show up. Now, a few good men. that title alone speaks in volumes. We need you. I wanted to see the few good men that we have. And we in a crisis with a few good men. I wanted to see all their faces.
You would get to meet Willem. Trust me, I was really hoping that you could have gotten to meet all three of us because this is going to be an interesting conversation. Okay? All right. I really would love that, but unfortunately, he couldn't be here. But nonetheless, we're gonna have a good time with this conversation.
Yeah.
Now, just to finish giving your introduction, so people get a better understanding, and I'll also give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and to say what needs to be said.
Okay. So, good night again. My name is Natural. Just the one name, Natural. Have one name for many reasons, which probably ties into the history that you were just sharing with us. Thank you. First, I want to say I'm really proud of you, gentlemen, for doing what you're doing. So please keep up the blessed works. I'm gonna say that first, but I'm born in America. We're the stolen Africans. That's how I define us. We are stolen from Africa and dropped off in America, as you guys were dropped off here. It's a lesson I have to have, a conversation I have to have daily living here on the lovely island of Grenada, because they'll call me the African woman. They'll say, hey, African woman. And I say, well, if I'm African, then what are you? Because they stole all of us. They dropped us off in America. And America and the Caribbean is too close to be trying to separate our identity, the very thing that was designed for them to take away from us. But anyway, my name is Natural, just the one name, born in America. I am a citizen of Grenada for a couple years now. I've lived in several countries. I lived in South Africa for 2 years, 14 to 16, South Africa. I lived in Rwanda, East Africa in 2018. I lived on the island of Antigua and Barbuda as a grade 6 school teacher, and I loved it. I've lived here in Grenada twice, and I am now a citizen. And that's a few more countries I lived in, but those are the ones that are dear and deep in my heart. So I put them on the top. I am an entrepreneur. I vow to the gods and the heavens that I will never, ever work for anyone ever again. I used to be afraid to say it. I'm not afraid anymore. So I am a businesswoman.
Right.
I will be double mastered in by the end of this year. So my first master's is social impact / entrepreneurship. This master's that I am in right now is organizational leadership. I'm living on this island single. I've had 2 marriages. I still don't have one husband.
It's okay.
You figure that out.
We gonna talk about that. We'll get.
And I'm having the time of my life.
Oh wow.
That's who I am.
Wow. We're gonna get in. We're gonna get into a little bit of your history because I know you did a lot of traveling. You spent a lot of time in remote villages. In
yes,
Africa.
Very remote. Yes, very remote.
And basically, you left America. You left all the luxuries of the internet and the whatever, and you came to a village where you literally had to, live on the land and live natural, just like the name says, natural.
Yes, I've always loved living closer to the land.
Right.
I just always had it from a child. Nobody could ever understand me, so I don't know. It's who I am. It's in my DNA. I'm clear about that.
They'll get to understand you on tonight's live. Sorry.
Okay.
So, all right. I just want to really start this conversation now. Has a feminist movement failed Black women? That one was a dicey one, eh? But
first I want to piggyback off of how you started off introducing feminism. You said, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I made up my own definition, which is pretty close to yours. The belief in full social, economic, and political equality for women, or genders, I'll say.
Gender, right.
You said what it should be, and I said the belief. And I use the word belief for a reason, because we will get lost in that. We have gotten lost in that. History proves that we'll get lost in the belief in full social, economic, and political equality.
Okay.
We've never been considered equal. Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
And you're speaking particularly about Black women.
Even going back to South Africa for 2 years in 2014, watching them still have a lot of the mentality of slavery, still using terms like boy and girl and colored. Like, come here, colored boy, shine my shoes for me. Like, you might still find that type of lingo happening there towards us. And I said, wow, we don't use those languages anymore, but the men can still speak like that and expect. They asked me to humble myself. It was very, very difficult because it's still happening. And it didn't matter if he was white or if he was Indian or whatever he was, African, because brainwash is real. We'll get lost in this full social economic. That's why you asked me, do I consider myself
a feminist? Yeah.
A feminist.
Yeah,
and
I did ask that
I really don't. I've never allowed labels to be attached to me. I just don't. But if I have to attach one, it would be womanism. Can I read my definition of womanism? And then we're going to tie all of it together.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got feminism, that whole political equality, what it's supposed to be. But my definition of womanism is a social theory based on the history and everyday experiences of Black women. It seeks to restore the balance between people and the environment, nature, and reconcile human life with the spiritual dimension. That is everything that was stolen from us over 600 plus years. So this is where I would say we, as an African woman, fit in. You can't put Becky next to me in the Black Lives Matter movement and they say, here we go, feminism. Okay, then we'll march with them. You can't get next to me with no Black Lives Matter sign. Maybe you could be in somebody's office talking about reparations if you really want to help because somebody owe us. We're lost in that first definition. We're not even in that. We're not in that. The belief, the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes. We're not in that. We're lost in that. If you understand what I'm saying,
Yes,
where do
I
we
do.
fit in there?
Okay, I just want to bring in Sam on this now. Sam, based on what her response was, are you a little bit shocked? What's your reaction? She said that she does not agree with the term feminist. I don't know. What's your take on that?
Well, I agree to the point where she said that the women, were not included in the definition, black women,
Okay.
because they were actually physically excluded when it was time for it to be enacted. And well, black women and poor women, and so they didn't believe that we were supposed to have a voice as black people, and especially our women. So I would tend to agree that before all this happens, they need to be empowered. And for those people who lead the narrative and actually have the power, how they can help is not necessarily only by marching, I would say, but by using their influence to make sure that things go forward. And this is not happening. So
Mm,
we are still, as a people, left out in a lot of
mm.
ways.
Okay. One of the things that Sam, one of the things that that was thrown at me um, was that how dare men discuss feminism when essentially, yeah, this is the energy that I got. Okay, like women alone should be talking about feminism. That's some of the
Well,
reactions that I got. Other people were welcoming of that.
well, if they believe that men have put themselves in charge and they want to exclude the people who actually have the voice now and think that they should fight the battle themselves, then that is whoever's prerogative. But I always believe that you should, you know, include your allies. And I, I am a son. So why wouldn't I want to be included in a fight for equality for my
Thank you.
mother, for my
Mm,
sister, for
mhm.
my wife, for my daughters, my friends? I want to be included. So, like I said, it is people's rights if they don't want men to discuss it.
Mhm.
Because, when it comes to legislation, it's usually all the men sit down and determine what is best for women. However, we're not saying that we are the authority on the subject. However, we are with you in the struggle.
I like that. I like that. There's just one thing I want to clarify. Because we need to put this conversation in perspective, and natural, you would give your feedback on it. You have a situation where during slavery, both men and women, both enslaved Africans, had no rights. Okay, so it's not that the man had more rights than the woman. We were literally equal as enslaved Africans.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the feminist movement started, and it didn't start among black people, even though history has shown that you had black people and black women being influential in pushing their agenda, meaning their freedom and their rights, and really join the feminist movement to be able to galvanize support, but they were rejected. So we had people like Sojourner Truth, guys, you could look her up, Rosa
Mhm.
Parks as well, but no, sorry, Rosa Parks would not have been in during slavery. She would have been in the civil rights struggle. But Sojourner Truth, IDB Wells is another name. Let me see if I can remember. There's a third one. Her name slips me by now, but there were a lot of black women who were fighting for their rights, because one of the issues with the feminist movement is that it is white led and it is their agenda that they're pushing. I don't know if you get that sense from when we're dealing with the beginning of feminism.
Well, even Black Lives Matter.
Wait a minute.
Not
Repeat that again. That you
okay.
said. What'd you say before Black Lives Matter? I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. So no, I was basically saying that I wanted to put into context that when we
Okay.
talk about women's rights,
Yes.
and when at the beginning of the feminist movement, black people were not included because we had no rights. We both black men and women.
Okay.
But
I get you.
now, yeah, but now it almost seems that they're branding all men as being oppressive when that was not necessarily the case on a systematic level. You catch what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
That's we have no power.
It was never designed for us. They never intended for us. Like, let me give you an example. Okay, so I don't know how much you guys or how high you honor culture and tradition. Culture and tradition is everything. Culture, tradition, your language, your religion, your beliefs, all that is who you are, made up as a person. So imagine if all that is taken away from you, even down to your names, the names that half of us still carry. It's the reason why I carry one name today, no surname, because I understand it was the name of the slave master. So if somebody takes all of that, when somebody rips your tradition and your culture away from you, and it's 600 years later, and they give none of it back to you, they don't teach your language in the school. They want you to learn Spanish, French, and Mandarin, and Italian. And you know how many African languages alone are in South Africa?
Yeah,
it's
I know.
11 alone. 11 alone. And one country on the continent. So imagine, so none of them are, so they had ripped everything, not only from the woman, but from the man. So our men were degraded, humiliated. They had their way with their women right in front of them. So if somebody took all of that and they never intended for you to be a part of this feminist, this nothing, and it's still happening today. So wait a minute. I lost my train of thought. Hold up. You said something, Sam. You said it's still happening today. Oh, I lost my train of thought. I hate that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Sam, what you just repeat what you said so you can get
no,
back.
You were talking about infiltration and who was leading the movements.
Right.
And you said
yes. Okay. And then
people,
Carlin said women or men. Seemed like both women and men were not included in this thing. We got work to do, is what I'm saying. It's just that simple. We were never included in feminism. Basis of equality, what?
I want to ask you a question. So you're bringing me into my next question.
Yes.
Sam, you would weigh in on that. Now you get this toxic, because we normally talk about toxic masculinity, yeah?
Yes.
We push that a lot. Yeah, but we don't talk about the toxic feminist energy. And I'll give you an example. So in coming up with this topic, I engaged with a couple women who I know are strong feminists, right? And because I am attempting to critique a movement that I support, because I support women, right?
Okay.
They are now treating me as I'm being misogynistic, or I am the energy that they need to stay away from. When clearly I'm saying I'm in support. So I want to speak about that toxic femininity energy, right? And where is that coming from?
So who's toxic? The ones that are not supporting you? You consider them toxic?
No. The ones that are saying that men are the issue, men are the problem.
Oh, men are the problem.
Yes, like all men, and not putting it into context.
Well, that comes from life experiences. Not knowing, nobody ever teaching you the truth. You not understanding, you not healing. See, we got to heal. We are a damaged people. We're damaged, and not at the hands of a lot of ourselves. We're damaged. We come from broken homes. We come from toxicity. We come from slavery. We come from Willie Lynch syndrome, which was designed to turn women against men, daughters against mothers. That was the design of that. Let me give you an example. I worked in the mental health field for 16 years. Mental health, substance abuse, mental health therapist. And I met this young lady one time who was deaf. And her family didn't know she was deaf until later on in life. But every time they called her, tried to talk to her, if you have deaf people in your life, you have to talk to them from the front. So if you're trying to speak to them from back there, they can't hear you. And so anyway, they thought something was wrong with her. And they put her in a mental institution with mentally challenged people. If you know deaf people, they're some of the most highly intelligent people that you ever want to meet. So she stayed in that mental institution for 30 years. And guess what she is today? Really mentally challenged. Now, I say that because that's the kind of damage that we've been a part of for many, many years. And we haven't healed. So if you run into a few toxic women, you might want to try to help them heal, put them on the path to healing. And that's what we got to start doing with each other.
But
I'm talking.
But it's
But
so,
what?
the difficulty is, just imagine, and Sam, I want to just bring you in on this.
Yes.
I have tried, like I have women who are strong feminists and I love them and I want to support them. But it almost seems that they're just,
sick.
it's like, yeah, that there's a toxic hate that comes from them. And I understand it because I had an experience a couple years ago. There was a woman that I met, and it, well, she's older than me, maybe about 10 or 15 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I was having a conversation with her, and she was saying to me that as a young girl, she was molested, right? And she was raped and somewhere in her adolescent or early adulthood. And she grew up hating men from that experience, right? She went and lived in the US in Washington, D.C., and she joined the feminist movement. Her mentor also had a similar experience, okay, of being raped, and she learns to be hateful of men from her mentor, which was a leader of a feminist group in Washington, right? So she spent a good number of years fighting the feminist battle, and one day she met another woman who presented her with a book, and they had a conversation. And in reading the book, she get to understand and put into context that the feminist movement was not really for Black women and for Black women's rights. So she literally was spending a good chunk of her life fighting against men and fighting this movement for a cause that never cared for her. Unfortunately, that the lady that I'm speaking about, she is now deceased. She died about 3 years ago, and she died with a regret that she was chasing a movement and she did not focus on herself to get a family, to get a husband. You see the point where I'm going with this, right? It's
Absolutely.
really sad.
Absolutely.
It's really sad. So I want to discuss the I don't need a man energy now. So that's what I'm bringing in. Sam, have you ever experienced women who come with this notion that I don't need a man? All men are no good. Yeah.
I see it every day. Especially
you said every day, Sam?
Especially on social media. I see it all the time. I grew up hearing it, that all men are fill in the blanks. I don't want Facebook to censor us.
No, yeah, we don't want Facebook.
That is hate speech. And yeah, I was banned from Facebook for it.
What did you say?
Minute, gentlemen, wait a minute now. Let's be careful with our wording, because you're saying you meet women all the time, every day, social media and otherwise, that say they don't need a man. Now, need, if somebody got a dictionary, need is a necessity. Can't live without a must have. Don't nobody need nobody like that. Wait a minute now, because we came here by ourselves. We're going to leave here by ourselves. But I think I know what you're trying to say.
Thank you, please.
It is something beautiful that happens between a man and a woman. And this is somebody with 2 failed marriages and single and still love. Ain't nobody changing my mind. I don't care what you do.
Natural, repeat that again. Repeat what you said again. Someone in the live is asking you to repeat. Say that again. What you
okay. What did I say? Coming from someone.
Hold on. So you was basically saying that because I use the word needed,
need. Need.
Repeat that again.
Need is a necessity. Something you can't live without. Something that you must have. Nobody don't need you. Nobody should need nobody like that. I should want you, not need you. I should be already whole and healthy when you get here. I should not be looking for you to come and fulfill some kind of and make me complete. That's bullshit. Excuse my language. Oh, you said don't cuss on the live. So sorry. Y'all should let us cuss. I like to cuss every now and then. But listen, nobody needs nobody. We came here by ourselves. We're going to leave here by ourselves. But But
please break it down because you know what I'm talking about when I say the need.
Beautiful that happens just being in the presence of a nice king man. Just being in the presence. Like, I hope nobody has to leave this earth without knowing what it's like to have an experience with a beautiful species of a man. That thing that God created that can help you bring life into this world. I'm just saying, it's something beautiful when you got somebody to just rub your face and touch you from behind and kiss you on your neck and say everything's going to be all right. That's a beautiful experience.
I feel that.
I hope everybody on this thing and people that aren't on this thing have an experience as such. And this is coming from somebody with 2 failed marriages that still loves love. They ain't changing my mind. I don't care what they do. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. That's a beautiful thing to have that. Everybody should want to experience that, but nobody don't need y'all's asses. We should want y'all. Excuse my language. We want y'all, but we don't need y'all.
All right. Okay.
Come on now.
I love you, Queen. I love you. I love you.
Okay. I love you more. I love you.
You're among family.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm sweating. No,
you can talk to us.
I'm sorry. Did I make y'all sweat? I'm so sorry.
I'm sweating. Yeah, I have my rag. Don't worry.
My apologies.
I'm actually crying too.
Well, how come I can't see the comments? Where the comments at?
The comments are on Facebook.
That's okay. Don't go through no special thing. But hello, everybody.
Yeah, no, trust me. You get a lot of love. You get one person.
There's something that says chat at the bottom of your screen.
Oh, yes. Are you not seeing the chat on the bottom of your screen?
It says chat. The word chat.
Chat with the host and other guests. Mine is oh, wait a minute. Maybe I click on comments.
Right. So when you
right.
There you go.
Say hello to the fans.
Hey, people. Hey.
All right, guys, welcome to the live. For those who now joined in, we're starting off with one-man shot tonight, but don't worry. Willem James going to be joining us on the next live. Okay, guys? No, natural. I just want to quickly explain when I use the word need, okay? Because technically, if you really look at it, like technically, y'all don't need us. You know what I mean? But the need I was talking about is let's remove the word need, okay? Let's not use that word. But we should want the company of others, right?
Absolutely.
And here's my philosophy on gender. I believe that we're one being from 2 different perspectives. Okay?
Absolutely.
That's what I believe. So technically, I am you and you're me from a different perspective. I don't know, Sam. Sam, what do you think of your thoughts on gender? Because feminism and gender is always this battle, male, female. What are your take on gender? Sam.
Well, I believe that humans are going to find something to divide themselves from each other. And it could be color, it could be anything. Once there's a difference, and sometimes it's done for a particular reason to benefit a few. But I believe that we are all one, like temperature. There's hot and there's cold, and they all have a purpose. And
different perspective.
Yeah, we all came from the same thing.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm moving to my next question. So now that we set a foundation for the feminist movement that is mostly white-led, that is actually working to improve for the interest of white people and black people, yeah, we do get as black women, they do get a little bit of benefits, but it is not on the same level. So there is still inequalities in the feminist movement when it comes to race. Do you agree with me, Natural?
Yes, I am with you. But see, women, black women, African women, of African descent women, we are doing another thing outside of that now, because if you look at the statistics, and you do a lot of research, so you can do this.
You know.
Black women are at the top of the totem pole as far as entrepreneurship and starting their own businesses, because we know we ain't getting nothing from that feminism thing that you're talking about. Okay. We're done with that. Like, we've had to step out. Our numbers are even higher than men with the entrepreneurship, because we're done with that.
Okay.
And I'm so glad to see those numbers. I was looking at some numbers yesterday. I'm so glad to see that we're moving out and doing something different, because it's no need to keep waiting on something that's 600 years later. What we gonna do? Y'all done degraded our men. You done worked on a program to separate us from our men. No, somebody got healed some kind of way. So we're taking initiative. So more of us now are starting businesses than ever. And I'm excited about that. So big ups to the women.
That's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a very good thing.
But I just want to even discuss something, because even in Grenada, we don't keep good statistics, okay? But fortunately, I was able to get my hands on statistics from the US that says that
yes,
when it comes to divorce rates, Black women are way up when it comes to divorce, right? So I'll just give the statistics that I have. So for Asian Americans, is 18%, okay? Asian Americans, 18%. We have Spanish, Hispanic, and the Latino population of 30%. Caucasians are at 38%, and then we have African Americans at 42%. But for women, more than 70% of that 42% of the women are unmarried. So 70% of Black women are unmarried. Now, let's get into that, because I know there's a lot of reasons why women are opting to be single. There's a lot of reasons for that. But do you think that in some way, based on the ideology that is fed to Black women from the feminist movement, that has contributed somehow to that disparity, or that need not to have a man?
Absolutely. No, I don't. We don't have to go that deep not to have a man, but let's go back to what we were taught in school. Now, it's the reason why I'm so big on homeschooling today. Okay. They taught us in school that you should get a 9-to-5 job, get a husband or wife, and have a home with a picket fence or some kind of fence around it, galvanized in our case.
Okay.
That never made sense to me. I'm serious. I'm serious. Yeah. We were in grade 5, maybe about 9 or 10 or 11 years old, young. And I used to say, wow, is that all there is to life? 9 to 5, a husband or wife, and a picket fence and 2.5 children. I was never interested in none of that. Not that I didn't want a man. That didn't sound right. I always wanted to live somewhere where you can wear shoes, don't wear shoes, wrap your head, wrap your body, be free and be acceptable. Go in the supermarket with a body wrap on and people don't look at you like you're crazy. They still say, but I would never say nothing, because the world said, get a husband or wife. Marriage is not for everybody. First of all, most people only do it because their religious parents said it's in the Bible and we should do it. It's just like, oh, I ain't gonna go there. I was gonna go to the vaccine, why everybody getting that only because they threatening their jobs. But I done went way off the thing. Okay, yeah, but it's not for everybody. It's a beautiful thing. It creates life together. But again, we have to heal. When you're talking about us, because we have a history, it's something called Willie Lynch syndrome. Do you know it?
Yeah, I know it. I had the book.
Okay, good. The book is one thing. That's the Willie Lynch writing on the wall.
Yeah.
But the syndrome, is something about that 30-year story I just told you about, the young lady they put in the mental institution. And she was she was wanted to just like us. And so they put her in an institution because she was deaf and they didn't know it. She came out, now she's really mentally challenged. So I'm just saying that syndrome is something that is embedded. Syndrome means it was a plan. It was a plan designed to keep you stagnated and to keep you down and to keep you hating your men. Even when, I'm gonna give you an example, even when women go to America, like women in America, they got something called Section 8 housing for low-income women. You got a lot of sisters on there, a lot of Black women. And part of the stipulation is if you're in a Section 8, you can't have a man.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
yeah, I know about that.
So yeah, when they come out and inspect your Section 8 housing, which they come anytime, they come like every 6 months. You don't know when they come in. You got to be hiding the man's shoes and throwing his shirts out the window and rolling them up. And you got to be, because you can't have a man. Some of them sisters unfortunately got to stay on Section 8 till their children is grown, 20, 25, 30. So so for 30 years they've been rolling up, throwing out, and stashing because society said you can't have a man. You can't have a man. The condition. They degraded our men 600 years ago. Now we can't have a man if we need a little bit of your help.
Interesting.
So what?
Wow. It's interesting that you brought up that point about the Section 8. So it seems that
that's just one example. That's just one example. That's just one. It's a million.
So the system becomes like the surrogate husband or male.
Absolutely. They do this because they know if you need their help, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna fall in the class of African, low income, because they already suppress us. They make sure they suppress us. They make sure we still don't get our proper education. They make sure they still teach us the wrong thing in the school system. They make sure that we degrading our men just like they did. So you can take on the mindset of the slave master, and you can treat your man just like the slave master used to treat him.
So it's
you can still 40 years later not take back your name and still walk around calling yourself Mr. Thomas and Mr. Fitzroy. Do you know that's the slave master's names? Them names don't belong to us. My name was Shepherd and Ward. My grandfather made sure I knew that they were of the slave master. He said, they got nothing to do with the love of your family, but start somewhere whenever you can. It's the reason why I got one name.
Oh, okay. Sam, I want to bring you in. I want to bring Sam in on this conversation. She just brought up the topic of Section 8 and that the system now becomes a surrogate husband. So the woman is now forced to get financial aid. She has to now belittle the man. All right. I want to ask Sam, I just want to get your opinion on this. In a situation where you have women who are, what should I say? Women who tend to get rid of the man. So basically, they mistreat us because they're thinking that we're the enemy. Okay. In a situation like that, and I know a lot of men are probably going through this. What are some of the advice that you will give to these men? Yes, to them, and to the woman as well. I'd like to get your thoughts on that.
The way I see life, I like to ponder on certain things. And if, as a man, I am involved with a woman on Section 8 somehow, and she has to hide my clothes, it means that I have to do one of two things. Remove myself from the situation or help her out of that situation. That's how I see it. Because if I'm going to be sneaking into this place and not contribute to her coming out of it, then we already have a problem. And I am a man, I like to take care or empower the people around me. And sometimes my friends and I would fall for it. Because I like to call myself or say that I'm not such of a good listener. And of course I would listen. But if you keep coming to me with the same thing, I want to know what we're going to do about it. And I can't go and lie next to a woman every night knowing that she's going through this day after day because she wants to depend on the government. So the man in the situation needs to understand what is going on, and he has to want to do something about it as well. Now, maybe she sung to a place in her life where, especially if she has children, it means that men have abandoned her in the past, right? And now she has to rely on the government. So the men already failed her in the past. I wouldn't feel comfortable laying on that bed. I'm very sorry. So that's how I see it.
That's how I see it. We're getting some good comments. Yeah, come on in.
Well, let's go a little deeper, because Curlin talked about something you were saying about rape molestation.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me just set a foundation for that. So yeah. So my experience is that I speak to a lot of women to get different perspectives. Okay.
Yes.
The particular one I was talking about, I would not say the lady's name because she's now deceased. May she rest in peace. She said to me that she was molested when she was young, and she was raped in her early adult years, and that triggered a hatred for men. So that is the reason why this is the driving force that pushed her towards the feminist movement. And it almost comes across that there was this man hating energy. I hate men because of what two men did to her in her life. Comment on that, and I also want you to comment on the fact that in society, they're telling Black women, or they're selling this ideology that Black women should be the strong Black woman who do not have to show vulnerability at some point. I'd like to get your perspective on that.
Let's go to we're talking, and really, we're way ahead of ourselves, really. We're on the surface because there's a root cause to everything.
Preaching.
Right?
Tell me.
And thank you for bringing up the story of the young lady who's now deceased, because do you know that 89% of women African women have been molested? Have been molested. And I ain't talking about by no stranger. I'm talking about by grandfather, brother, uncle. I'm a survivor. It's called incest. In my case, it was my brother, right? So listen, 89% of women have been molested. Do you know that 97% of men are the rapists?
I've heard that statistic before.
So yeah, it's big. Yeah. So wait a minute. So imagine all these women that you trying to date are coming from this incest and molestation. It's big on the islands. I've been a school teacher on the island of Antigua and Barbuda for 3 years, and now I'm here in Grenada for 5 years. I was in South Africa 2 years, and guess what? It's deeply embedded in our culture. Like, not one place that I go did one little girl come to me and try to ask for help as a teacher. So do we really expect somebody gonna be hating somebody? See, and it's a topic that we don't easily talk about. So we trying to figure out why these women hate men. We ain't saying men don't get molested too now. That ain't what we saying. That other percentage on it is men. And it's a large portion of why he's so angry too. Why he's mistreating us too. I can tell you a horrific story about one of my divorces. And I had to figure all that out myself because he wasn't in tune with it. He had totally blocked it out. Total denial. We're going to never talk about it because most island men don't talk about it. It happened and that's it. So somebody's going to be very hateful. Do you know how much healing? When I first shared with somebody about the incest, I was 33 years old.
Why did you wait that long? Tell me. What's
Thank you. Okay,
this is the case for a lot of women.
First of all, my mother used to always say to me, natural, or just talking to us about men, she would say, first of all, she didn't allow us to sit on anybody's lap. She didn't care if it was Uncle John, grandfather, very protective, 7 girls, but she missed her own son. So then wait a minute, she went, and then she would say, when we would talk about these things, because we had people in the neighborhood, it was happening with, a father was sleeping with all his daughters and all kinds of things was happening. But she would say that only happens with white people. White people only do that stuff. Now, mind you, I'm 9. This is why we got to be careful when we're telling our children. And then my father, who I used to watch, chase my sister's boyfriends away while he was shooting at them. That's how protective he was of my sister. When her boyfriends would come around, they'd be running and sliding under cars, and he would be shooting real bullets at them, right? About his daughter. Listen, he used to say, if anybody ever touch you in any kind of way, you tell me, and I would kill them. And guess what? I knew he would. My father always kept a gun down in the front seat of his car. Even when he died, I went and removed the 2 pistol guns and gave them away because they was down there. They was in his drawer. They was everywhere. And I knew he would. And I knew he would have because it was my mother's son and it was not his son, even though he raised him. But I believe from what I've seen, and you got to be careful when you telling a child, mommy and daddy will protect you. You tell us, well, you can't tell a 9-year-old child you'll kill them because it could very well be her grandfather or her brother. And she really don't want to see grandfather or brother die. She just knows something isn't right. So see, we got to be careful all the way around. So for a long time, I couldn't put together why my sister that's going now, she transitioned. She was older and she used to laugh about me and say, you so mean. You didn't even smile till you was 13. You know, I just put it together this year. The reason why I didn't smile till I was 13, because my brother had did that to me at 9. I stopped smiling. That means I was angry. I had put a wall around me that nobody would ever hurt me again. That's why my mouth and I'm so harsh now. And probably I'm a little hard on men. Like I be telling them like it is.
Yeah. Oh man.
And if you ain't doing it right, you ain't doing it right. You ain't making it right. You ain't doing it right. And been like, bye. Because it has to be fixed. Me, I'm still healing. Yeah. But I've been on the path of healing for 24 years now. Sunday will be 24 years of healing. I'm talking therapists and talking to people. Yes.
But as you mentioned, therapy. And Sam, you're just weighing quickly on this.
Yes.
Remember I mentioned that a lot of men and women, especially Black people, but for women, they're not allowed to express their vulnerability, to say that I've been hurt. I am going through trauma. They're not allowed to say that because they're looked at as weak. You see the point where I'm going with this?
Most people don't believe their children in the African race. They don't believe. You know how many stories I listened to for 16 years and I listen to daily. I did this show with Aruna. It must have been 1.8 thousand people on there calling me from the diaspora, Grenadian, saying, oh my God, you're just with the island. We've never heard nobody, because ain't nobody talking about it. I guarantee you, if it's 10 people on this thing here, 8 of them it has happened to. I guarantee you, ain't nobody talking about it because half the people, let me tell you what one of my sisters said to me, and she wasn't trying to hurt me. This was one of my sisters that just passed last Christmas. She said, Natural, you know, some people in the family don't believe what you said that our brother did to you. And I let her finish what she was saying. And I said, really? I said, sister, let me tell you something. I said, my story is mine. And I know my truth because I've been on this process, this journey of healing. I wouldn't play with nobody's life like that. One thing I believe for sure is that little girls don't lie about that type of thing. So I said, but I guarantee you one thing, you ain't got to believe me. But I said, let me give you an example of how I am in my healing process. I said, one time I had your granddaughter with me, who is my great niece. And I said, we stopped at that brother's house because the sister I was with, for some reason, always wanted to stop past that brother's house. And I knew what he had done to me. I used to say, I'm not going in there. I'll sit in the car, but I hadn't told nobody yet. And so we went up there and I sat right here and I had her granddaughter right next to me. Her granddaughter said, I gotta go to the bathroom. He jumped up and said, I'll take her. I said, oh, no, you won't. Oh, no, you won't. I'll take her. He looked at me because he knew what I was talking about. And I told that sister, I said, one thing I won't ever do is leave your granddaughter with him. And when I told her that, she said, wow, you really are working a healing program or process or whatever word she used. And I said, you damn right. Now I found a way. He just died January. And because I know you have to move on. You can't keep living in something that happened to you when you was 9 and you 57. You got to find a way to heal. You got to, or you'll just sink. So I wouldn't, even when he was living, I wouldn't hug him. I wouldn't tell him I love him. Surely ain't gonna leave nobody's kids with him when he was living. But I didn't hate him anymore.
Okay, all right, so did that traumatic experience cause you to have, how should I put it? Did it cause you to hate men, like in general? Or was that just...
It caused me to not trust them. Not trust them at all. I lost a lot of respect for men, because if you can't trust your fathers, your brothers,
Mm.
ain't no what you want to expect really from somebody else. Those are the people you are expect to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So I lost respect for them. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, Queen, trust
Absolutely.
me. I
Yes.
look. I have had experience where close family members of mine went through
Yes.
similar stuff. So
Yes.
I could understand. Sam, I want to bring you in. Where do we take responsibility as men now, Sam? Knowing that a woman has had a broken, um, you know, a broken life, a life of trauma. Where do we now take responsibility for the things that we do, and how do we start that healing process, that reconciliation process, healing and reconciliation as men?
Well, well, as human beings, first of all, we have to take responsibility for our actions. And when we enter somebody's life, um, a part of getting to know each other is understanding how the person functions, and eventually you're going to find out a lot of the person's past.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times when we have to be honest with ourselves and know that we are a bit in over our heads because we are not therapists. And what a lot of people are looking into relationships for is therapy. And they want the man to fix them and to listen to them and to offer all these things that the man is actually looking for himself. And even a part of the black struggle, I've learned that we are a people that are hurting and we need therapy. And so we have hurting people who are looking to other hurting people
Mm.
for life. And if we can't step back and say, listen, it's either we go to counseling or we seek help or this is not something that I can do. But what a lot of men do is either A, believe that they can help by trying to attend to her every need. If she wants this, try to give her this and whatnot. But sometimes that is just putting a plaster on it. And we need to know where we are as a people and as a couple and be honest. Because I will tell you, there are a lot of broken people, and you're just leaving a very toxic relationship. You say you don't need, to go into another one, and then you're friendly with somebody else, you end up in another relationship again, and this doesn't go so well because you're bringing all this baggage into the new
Mm-hmm.
relationship. This is both women and men. So we
Mm-hmm.
both come with our baggage, and the honeymoon period when we just meet each other is nice and fine and dandy. And then we begin to unpack our clothes and put them in the closet, and we take the
Mm.
shoes with all the hardships that all the hard paths that we've walked through. We put it
Mm-hmm.
under the bed and we put it in the closet as well. And then
Mm.
one day the closets are full.
And it
You try to
explodes.
reach for something and everything just tumbles on you.
Mm.
And
Mm.
so I can't help where a lot of things are concerned. When it comes to a woman who has been hurt by other men, I have to be very careful. But you see, it has to be something that is natural because some people you would tend to tiptoe around this person because they've been hurt. So you can't be your true self. Let's say you're a person that jokes about just about anything,
Mm-hmm.
but then you have to be sensitive because there's this person in your life who experience, you know, may trigger something.
Mm-hmm.
And so it becomes two people that are trapped. And until we can really go where we need to go for healing, I don't think a lot of us should actually either A, be in a relationship or B, say, yes, I want to be in a relationship, but what should I do to move past this hurt that I had in the past? And
Mm.
I will tell you that the men in society, well, people would try to get away with whatever it is that they want to get away. But what angers me the most is that when a lot of females are molested raped, attacked by men, especially in the household. It might be a stepfather. No, what we've seen is that because a lot of the women are dependent on this man for sustenance, because he came in, he rescued her because he met her with children, as an example. If he molests a daughter or he rapes her, she would want to maintain that relationship with the man because of what he's doing for them. And she's putting her needs before the needs of her children, really. And she's being selfish. And it happens a lot. And it goes so far that sometimes something would happen to a little girl and the family would accept some kind of monetary contribution, which doesn't even go towards counseling. But the family's life would somewhat improve miraculously. And nobody bats an eye. And this little girl now is now hurting, growing up, and she doesn't have a savior because her mom sold her out, her father sold her out, and everybody around her. And what we need to see are men who do these things facing a penalty so that it sends a message to the young women out there that, number one, if you're hurt, you can come forward and we will take you seriously. And there are serious consequences for these men's actions. But if nothing is happening, a lot of females would continue suffering in silence. And this is plaguing our society. So I'll stop there. It goes way beyond that.
It really does. I thank you for sharing that, but it really, really does. Somebody had asked a question over here, and I really wanted.
I think I know who. All right, so
about the 2 failed marriages. I want to answer that, but go ahead.
So let me just read out the comments. So because there's no time for the comment section, guys. Guys, feel free to send in your questions. But let me go back up. I think Julian had a question. He said,
"It was Is that Julian? Is it a man or a woman?"
No, it's a man.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, Julian.
So he said that did it ripple out into other male relationships or interactions? Did that play a part in your quote unquote failed marriages?
When you say play a part, well, I'm gonna tell you the part it played with me. See, I was just beginning. That first marriage was just beginning. I was just beginning to heal. I really had no business marrying anybody because I was broken. I was very, very broken, and went right. And when you broken, Julian, you don't make good decisions. You make rash decisions. You make unhealthy decisions, and your self-esteem is really low because you don't get to lose that kind of innocence and not have low self-esteem. Or wait a minute, no self-esteem. Let's call it what it is. No, none. That's what happened. This is what you had to build from. And so then I went into the second marriage, and it was horrible because he had another agenda. He had another agenda. He had his own agenda because, see, I speak a white man's language, not by choice, because they forced us. So a lot of times, island people, and this is just the way it is, I used to get offended by it, but I don't anymore. It happened in Africa too. When they hear you speak a white man's language and you this color, they automatically think you got money. So the marriage didn't even last 60 days because he started begging. You got $500 US, you got $1,000 US. I had a total knee replacement. So no, I'm not going to take that second one. No, total knee replacement, your wife, and you can't, you got 500. No, please stop asking me for money. I've never in my life had to ask somebody to please stop asking me for money. So I'm not going to take that second one because you had your own agenda. You was trying to, I'm going to see what I can get out of this. But I was really digging him. I'm telling you the honest truth because it takes courage to say what it really is. The first marriage, I really had no business. We had known each other for 27 years. And I was really trying to live comfortably in Antigua. And I thought I could see that self-centeredness. I thought I could live easy in another country. I forgot that you born American. You can pretty much go live where you want to live. It's them that got to marry you to live somewhere. You don't got to marry. So I had it all twisted. But I was trying to get something out of somebody. It's called when you're trying to use people. When you marry somebody for anything other than love, it already failed. That's the part I played. I'm being honest. The second one, I ain't taking that one. Just please stop asking me for money. And once they seen they wasn't getting none, everything was horrible. Everything. Now, I ain't even gonna go there and degrade the man, but everything. When I say everything, I'm talking spiritually, mentally, romance, finance, everything. No.
So I want to come in and ask you a question. So we now discovering, no, not discovering, but we're now speaking about dysfunctional men now. Okay. So where there are issues that women need to deal with personally, we are, as well as men, need to be accountable and to deal with our own traumas and our own personal issues. What advice do you give to us men when it comes to marriage? Because you hold strong views for women empowerment, and I appreciate that. But what is the advice for us?
I would say with my experiences, my life experiences, men have to learn to communicate. They have to learn to open up, because if you can't talk to your husband about satisfying you sexually, and I'm just giving you an example.
Okay.
If you can't talk to your husband, I'm your wife. If I can't tell you that you are doing this wrong, honey, please, let me show you. You can't think that I'm trying to tell you what to do. Now, I know y'all can identify this. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. You can't tell me what to do, and I'm never coming back. I'm trying to tell you, even if it ain't me, when you go to the next woman, you got to know how to do this thing properly. You can't keep running around like this. This is not right. I'm telling you what to do. No, I'm your wife. I'm trying to tell you, because if you tell me, wife, I need you to do this way, then I'm going to listen. Men don't want to listen. Our men don't want to listen. They look at it like we telling them what to do. You got to listen to your wife. You can't just expect her to lay there and pretend like she's enjoying you. Okay. Stop this. I'm trying to love you here, but I need you to meet me halfway. So that's a big one. That's a big one. Big one. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm trying to help you along. Okay. So once you can listen and communicate, you pretty much got it locked. And far as women and that masculinity thing one of y'all mentioned.
Yeah. I think, all right, I'll read a question here just so that you could answer that particular question.
Okay, because it's their time. Okay.
Yeah, no, but you're about to, but I just want to read the question to acknowledge it, okay?
Okay.
So we have Ms. Sylvester. She's saying that while I understand the reason for feminism, she's saying, isn't it fair to say that some, I would assume is men, men go overboard and cause, women, sorry. Women. All right, so let me read that over. My apologies. So she's missing the W in women, but that's okay. All right, so while I understand the reason for feminism, isn't it fair to say that some women go overboard and cause men to feel inferior, ignoring the role of the man in the family and or the necessity of the man? That's the question. You want me to go that over, or are you clear on that?
No, because some of us do go overboard. Once again, they don't know. We got a lot of brokenness. Some people have no business going into a marriage. Some people ain't got no business going into a relationship. You got to heal. A man is an important species that God has created for us to enjoy, vice versa. And we need to respect him. We need to honor him. I couldn't say this some years ago. He needs to be like the head of the house, not putting pressure on him to be the head, because I should be there for you. If you fall, you should be there for me. But we need to respect him in that manner. We need to acknowledge him because he's been torn down for so many years. So many years. I mean, tore down, degraded. He's had to watch his men had their way with his women in front of him, and generation after generation after generation. The black man has had no respect. The black woman has had no respect, but the black man ain't had none neither. And then, so the black man started dropping his head, and then the woman has had to king and queen for so many years. She got to raise her children. She got to do all this stuff that makes her lose total respect for the man. So it's really, we both got to come together. We got to have more conversations like this We got to get around the table. We got to have sessions. We got to get under the tree. We got to do whatever we got to do because we're in a crisis right now. It ain't no love walking around Grenada. I'm sorry. I've been here 5 years and I'm very aware. Like I study people. I look around. I'm a market person. I'm booth number 42. I see people all day long. I see the drunken people. I see the elderly. I see the middle. I see everybody. I see the 100-year-old people. I see everybody. And it's sad. I'm like, where's the love? Like, where's the love?
Sam, I really want to come in. I really want Sam coming on this. Sam, so we're going to be discussing dysfunctionality, right? The dysfunctional nature of that we have normalized in Grenada. And natural, I'm sure you could chime in as well. The available pool of men in Grenada is much to be desired. You have mentioned that. I've heard that you mentioned that before. So, but Sam, I just want you to pull you in on that. Men, the dysfunctional nature of men that we have normalized, all right, and also of women as well, because we both have dysfunctional behaviors that we have normalized. But just target the men for a minute, and I'll let Natural speak about the women.
I can say that we're generally functionally dysfunctional people, in that we just know how to walk the streets and pretend that we're okay, go to a job, operate at a certain level, come home. But the average person you meet will be dysfunctional. Now, when it comes to men, I would always get into arguments about this, but it's a lot to do with the stimulus that we receive as men. First of all, a lot of the men that I went to school with, our ideals are a bit different and unrealistic. We learn about sex first from porn. So when we're in a relationship, we're expecting the women to do certain things, to look a certain way, and to operate in a certain capacity, because everything is about stimulus and nothing is really about connection and love and whatnot. So we weren't taught that. So that's one thing. Then comes communication. You're asking men to communicate, but nobody really sits and talks to the boys and asks them what's happening. We can't express ourselves. If we hurt, we can't cry. And so we grew up stuffing everything down inside because big boys don't cry. And now we're men and we're expected to communicate and to be this knight in shining armor and to be a well-polished human being. And it doesn't happen that way. And so as an adult, we have to expose ourselves to a series of learning and unlearning on understanding that these traits are not desirable. But it only comes after sometimes meeting the right of the people. And some people have not done so. And some people, you would have met the right person, but at the wrong time. So the stimulus that and then there's our music. Everything is about the rum and girl and about what we should do to women, and we need to bend them over like dog and work them hard.
Yep.
Yeah. So, while it's all fun and games, it does something to us mentally, where the majority of our music, right? And music is a very powerful tool. It's a drug. And people don't understand it. So the soca is full of it. The reggae, the dancehall is full of it. And this is what we hear every single day. So we have the porn growing up, we have no communication, and then we have the music and everything that goes with it. And what do we do when we're stressed? We go to a bar, we drink, and we enjoy some of the same music, the same things that are kind of trying to break us.
Wow.
And there are no real outlets for us to work on ourselves. And I know we're, some of us are starting a mentorship group for young men. And it's something you're going to be hearing about in the near future. And I spoke to Caroline about it already.
Of course.
And it's something that is needed in Grenada. Because it's not to say that I am perfect and I have my life together so I can now come and tell you what to do. No.
That's not it.
It's about me as well, sharing my experiences where I've gone wrong and what I did to come up. And maybe it might work for you, but you have to find yourself. And we just have to find ourselves as men.
That's right. Natural, I want to bring you in here. What advice do you have for women who have this unhealthy feminist energy? And I said unhealthy feminist energy. What advice do you have for them? And for the women who are broken and dysfunctional, what advice do you have for them?
I would say you got to fix yourself. See, you can walk around being toxic. Wow, Sam, you just had some good points. So thank you for that.
Oh, Sam, yeah.
You can walk around being toxic and unhealthy, and you can be intelligent and you can have some good information, but you're going overboard. You're a little toxic. It's just like religion. You can go overboard and can't nobody hear you no more preaching your unhealthy information. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to find ways to fix ourselves. This is why we have to have sessions like this. I meet with a group of sisters and we meet regularly. Sometimes we go up country, sometimes we go under a tree, sometimes we go in the water and get in a circle, but we just let it out because we know we all want to be in healthy relationships. That we're clear about. We know we all come from broken places. We read, we had discussions, we like sage, we do energy stuff, we yoga, we meditate, and we do it together. We cry. Sometimes we just sit there and we cry because it's just too heavy. You gotta fix yourself with all your information that's overboard and unhealthy because can't nobody hear you when you like that anyway. So if you don't open your mind, it's something called open-mindedness. It's my favorite word. Open-mindedness. Open your mind real wide so you can hear. You got to be able to get, and you can't grasp a new ideal on a closed mind. And if you ain't open, you just running off your own juice, and nobody want to hear what you're saying. I don't care who you are. You could be a preacher, a doctor, a lawyer. Open your mind. Listen to the people, because if 3 people tell you you look like a horse, you might want to saddle up. So if you're toxic, you might want to fix yourself. Listen to somebody else. Get some new information in there because you're hurting yourself and you're hurting people around you. Can't nobody even hear you no more. Fix yourself. Yeah, and it usually starts with groups like this, like a few good men. Women need women, men need men, and then we need each other. Find you a sister circle and join it so somebody can help you, and then you can branch out and start joining the men. But right now, you're a little too unhealthy. You're toxic. Can't nobody hear you.
Yeah.
Fix yourself. Because you really got to help yourself. We live in a country where it's we don't have a lot of help here. We don't have no whole lot of mental health therapists. We don't have but we got a whole lot of qualified people here that have been on a healing journey. I'm telling you, I come from a broken place. I can tell you some other stuff that will blow your mind, but I'm into healing myself and people around me. And Sam said it, you got to start with ourselves. That's how men can help us with the whole womanism, feminism. Join in, but start with yourself first.
Okay. I want to read a comment here. Let me see, from Sheldon. All right. So he said, all right, it's a comment. So it's a comment. So often we look to other races to see what they have done wrong when we should be trying to see what they have and are doing right to emulate these. Now stop acting like political parties talking about what we would never do at the extremes while letting the average positive behaviors go unnoticed. All right, good point. Guys, send in your question, guys. We have 10 minutes and we would like to wrap up at 9:30. So send in your questions. We appreciate Sheldon. I acknowledge Sheldon Noel. I acknowledge your comment. Shin said we need more normal conversations on healing. I'm not sure we understand how to start the process.
Okay, how to start the process of healing. First of all, you have to surrender. You have to surrender. You have to know that you got a problem. You have to know what you need to heal from. You got to say, okay, it was incest. It was, I wish I was never born. It was all this stuff. I didn't like myself when I was 9. You got to call it what it is first, because can't nobody read your mind. So you got to let somebody know what your problem is first. Your problem, not somebody else's problem. Your problem. And then once you surrender, that's the beginning of it. The universe hears you. Your ancestors are on your side. That's the beginning of it. Let somebody know what's going on with you. You got to tell somebody. That's what I had to forgive myself for, because I ain't never tell nobody that somebody hurt me when I was 9. I ain't tell nobody till I was 33. You can't experience something. Human beings are made of feelings and emotions. You cannot go through something when you're 9 years old. Never tell nobody till you're 33 and expect not to have some consequences. My consequences was I was a crack addict for 11 years. My 24-year clean date anniversary is October 17, 1997. So in 48 hours, I will be 24 years clean. I ain't tell nobody, so I smoke crack. Most people don't tell nobody, so they drink. See, I work down the market, so I see addiction all day long down the market. Alcoholism. They falling out, they falling down, they 22, they come back, they lift them up, and they give them another beer because they ain't sharing what really happened to them. You got to let somebody know what happened to you first, and then we can begin to heal. We gather together, we hold each other, we let each other cry. We don't use no tissues because it stops your healing process when you do that. You find people that you trust, people that love you, people that you know on a healing journey. I got some powerful people in my life, and a lot of them are right here on the island. Right here on the island. Join us sometimes. Oh, it's some healing going on.
But you see, I think the issue, a lot of, if you mind me just jumping in, a lot of the issue stems from us feeling that we should not express that because that means that we're weak.
No, there's no such thing as weak. And whoever told you that, know that it's a tired old lie. Keep thinking that men don't supposed to cry and they ain't supposed to share their. Why did they do that? Who did that to us? Surprised somebody in feminism did that and said, you weak. You weak. No, baby, you well on your way. That is strength. We come from strength. We are the only set of people. I think it was Sam that said something about we generally are dysfunctional. We should not be generally dysfunctional because we were born kings and queens. History said so. Not natural didn't say nothing. History, we the only set of people that were born kings and queens. How the hell did we get here? The lowest of the totem pole. How did we get here? We the first people that God created. Do your homework again. I ain't said God created. So if you the first of everything should be respected. Don't you respect your firstborn sister, your mother's firstborn, which is your aunt? The firstborn is the matriarch, the patriarch. We the first. They supposed to be respecting us. How the hell did we get so disrespected? Come on, we ain't generally something that went terribly wrong, and we gotta fix it. We gotta have them hard conversations like we have it right now. We gotta have it. We gotta talk about what happened to us. One of them marriages.
Sam, you want to mention? Oh,
let me tell you this.
No, continue. Finish.
I was his wife. And I couldn't even touch his backside. I ain't trying to do nothing to it, freaky or nothing. I'm just trying to touch my husband's ass.
He didn't want you to touch it. Why?
I couldn't touch it.
Why?
You tell me why. If somebody can't go around your butt, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm your wife. I can't go. Just playing or lay there and put my hand. No.
All right, so let me break it down. As a man, all right.
Something that happened.
Affection in public, like men, like we're brought up like to feel that if you show affection in public, that's for the bedroom. We should not do that. Sam, I mean, come on. I don't know if I'm making it up or that's the perception that I get.
Well, we were in the bedroom, so I don't know what happened. But I'm just saying, you do have different cultures.
Oh,
Grenada is a culture where I guess you don't walk down the street holding hands, because that's what I was saying when I was like, I don't see nobody being cuddly or lovely or none of that. South Africa was the same way. You did not walk down the street holding hands. You would see a few, one or two, but I was there 2 years. Looking around, I'm like, it was the culture. You didn't even look elders in the eye. In America, you look people in the eye. Remember, we the stolen Africans, so we got the Western way. You look them in the eye. You shook nobody's hand with the left hand. Everything was done with the right hand. It's like against the law. So, you know, it's culture. So maybe, is that the culture here in Grenada? Let me ask you that. Are you not supposed to show affection out in public?
Is that unwritten rule?
Well, I had, yeah. I was born in Guyana. I was not born in Grenada. And I'm married to
Guyanese. Okay.
That's true.
And so one thing that stood out to me is that when I got married, I wanted to hold hands. And my wife was afraid to hold hands in public because it's just not done.
She's Grenadian.
She's Grenadian. And we joke about it from time to time because whenever we travel to Guyana, we would see people holding hands a lot, and the men and women would have matching, they would match, you know, in your relationship. And you see a lot of that, but you hardly see it here. And so it's culture.
So, well, that's just showing affection. So, Curlin, could you tell us, would you date a woman and walk down the street holding her hand? Say you took her to the mall or the movie theater to have a smoothie or something downtown. Would you hold her hand?
Yes. I see no reason why not. But like I said,
y'all be scaring me sometimes.
But no, hold on. But remember, like growing up, I have not seen my parents being affectionate around me. And mind you, my both parents are now dead. Okay, so I didn't have enough time to spend with them to, you know. But that's not the point. The point is I just never seen it. And for many people growing up, you don't get to see that. So automatically you assume that, I don't know, it's just for this bedroom. That's what I get. I cannot speak for all men in Grenada.
Well, is that why most Grenadian men, now I'm saying most, I've been here 5 years. I am a woman who still loves being in the presence of a man. The marriage didn't last 60 days, so of course I consider myself single. So when I talk to guys and every day one approaches me, not one day go by, that's the first thing they talk about is coming to my house in a sexual manner. I'm like, wow, whatever happened to taking a lady out? Saying, I'm understand. Okay, you ain't got had no whole bunch of money. We're in the middle of COVID. Some people got hit real bad. What about let's go sit on the beach, get a couple doubles, get to know each other, go sit down, have a cup of tea. That shit, when I say that to them, they be looking at me like, huh? Like, what better place to go than home? I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's
gonna be the choices I have. I'm gonna have to leave. Because I see now. I already see. I'm still alive.
Oh, look, I don't know. Look, it's crazy. Look, we could go into the psychology behind that whole behavior. we gotta say that for another show, Sam. We gotta talk about that.
Part two.
We gotta save that.
Part
guys,
two.
Correct, yeah.
Tonight's session was critiquing the feminist movement, guys. So we have here Natural. I just really want to just reintroduce you. We have here on the live Natural. We had a brilliant conversation. As I'm saying, as I've noticed, people, if you're sending in your questions, just double checking. Sheena, you was asking, what do you mean by affection, Colin? Explain yourself, Sheena. Just tell me what you mean by that. All right. So while we're waiting for Sheena to respond, yes, Sam.
I believe
I want to hear from you.
The man didn't want to be touched because some men they believe that is a homosexual act of sorts, and
okay.
And yeah, it's just for the man to do. And I will tell you, when I was much younger, I used to feel the same way. I don't want the attention to be towards me. So you don't make love to me. You don't, I would feel uncomfortable after a while. And so men have not grown accustomed to a woman doing things to them. They only want the stimulation, and then it's their turn to take over. So they have taken over the entire role of pleasing, and the woman should just be receiving. And they don't allow women to express themselves as well and to do things to them. And so it's something that we need to break the cycle on. That's just mine.
Okay.
That is so sad. It's the truth. You said it just the way it is, but that is sad. You can't be trying to control all of it. You're not doing it properly. You want to control everything, say everything. I can't tell you nothing. You have no foreplay, trying to just go up in sex, and you're not doing nothing right. Oh, that's sad.
But a lot of females are now accustomed to that, so that's what they expect, that the man just comes and does everything, and so they have not really, I want to say perfected, but worked on themselves as well and turning the tables.
Okay, but remember, we have to take into consideration here that a lot of men learn, their first encounter with sex is through pornography. Okay, so
that's exactly. So you're acting like it's a.
So we're gonna Look, I would be very honest, right? At the age of 7, 8 was the first time I saw pornography. I had no parental supervision because my mom died when I was 7, so I was free to do whatever I want. My dad didn't care, so I'm up 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 2, 3 in the morning, just watching television, unfiltered, uncensored television. And I remember the time there was this television, either Showtime or what is a late night one, Sam? Help me. There's a late night.
Late night.
From 6 after dark.
After 12.
6 in the city or
one of them. After 12, man, you're just getting porn.
Okay.
You're just getting porn. So that was my first introduction.
Yeah, that was Showtime, yeah.
So wait a minute. Well, let me ask y'all a question then. How can we fix that? Because you just said most men on this island and most men learn about sex and what they consider making love from porn.
And friends.
I talk to friends. Now I talk to a lot of local women. I'll be like, what the hell? They be like, yeah, that's how they are in that. I'm like, y'all go for that shit. They be like, that's how they are. I'm like, come on, y'all. Come on. What can we do to help y'all understand you got it all wrong? Not all of you, because we got a few. Yeah. What can we do as women that really care about our men, don't want to leave you behind hanging? No, we don't want to date white men. I'm talking about me now. I ain't into that. I should have probably been left, but I really, really love my melanated king men. I should have been gone. I know what, but I ain't gave up on y'all yet. So what can we do? Because it's getting desperate here. And I'm telling you.
Look, hold on. I just really want to tackle a comment here. Look, guys, look. There's no rules here. We're going to go for another half an hour. I love this conversation. There's no rules here. We can make the rules. All right? Sam,
oh my God.
We're going to make the rules.
Yeah, I'm here.
Just help the sisters out.
Yeah, we're going to go up to 10 o'clock. Guys, we're going to go up to 10 o'clock. So I just want to take this the statement here by Gus. He's saying in quotations, independent ladies don't need a man for anything other than sex is what I was told by a woman. So that particular guy, Gus, it's just Gus, made that statement, throwing it out.
Well, we talked about need earlier, Gus, if you just came in. Now, I know what you mean, but no, we don't need y'all, but we want y'all. We came here by ourselves. We're going to leave by ourselves. But it's a beautiful thing, like I said before, that happens between man and woman. And I hope everybody in this world gets to experience it one day. I still love being in the presence of a king man. He's amazing. Like God created this amazing species. And he was meant to wrap around me. And when I say me, I'm talking for every African woman. He was meant to wrap around me and hold me and make love to me. And we cook with each other and we eat and we laugh. It's a beautiful chemistry thing that happens. It's an experience.
All right, Sam, you want to come in on
that? Don't nobody need y'all. We want y'all. We should be full and whole when you get here. You come here to enhance it. You ain't coming to fill no gap or fill no hole because I want you. Because the universe put you here for me.
People in the live loving you now. They're loving your energy, man. They're
Oh,
loving your energy, queen.
okay. Let me.
Loving your
Yes,
energy.
my girl said, "Yep." She said,
Yep.
"It is beautiful." I know that's right, Kasha.
Sam, Sheena also had a question in the chat, but I just wanted to maybe comment on the topic before you hit that question.
Wait a minute.
Well,
What happened?
Sam.
Where,
Okay.
Yes.
where we would differ in opinion, Natural, is that I believe because of how the universe created us, that in order, I can't, I can get up and go to work every day and do certain things. But I think that there's a need in my life that can only be filled by someone else. I can fill it, try to fill it with all other things. And I think that I need a woman because she does things for me that I can't do for myself, but I have to want it. And in me wanting it, I would show appreciation for it. So my need is not necessarily dependence, and I can't live my life when I'm going to die. However, it's a part of the completion process in making me a whole person. Because, like I said, we're like temperature, we're hot and cold, but when we come together, we're warm.
One being. Well, it goes
And
back to
that's how I see it.
Well, it goes back to the African principle. Remember, we're one being from two different perspectives. So the woman and the man is one being.
Absolutely. And I love what Sam said, because even though I'm funny about the word need, but I understand your need. I understand that. But gosh, I forgot what I was going to say. Something about woman and man.
I'm not going to die without a woman, though.
What's that?
I'm not going to die if I don't get, if I never had a woman.
Yeah. I know you're not going to die. I know you're not going to die. Yeah. But like I said, it's the experience. And one thing, I know what I was going to say. Woman does something for man. Man does that same something that you talked about for woman. It's like, have a business or anything, any life experience, and get a woman, like a decent woman, like with her head on straight, a good heart. I ain't saying she's perfect, but a good heart. I'm talking that liberty, good heart, good mind, and watch what happens to your business and watch what happens to your life. It's going to flourish. Say, get a good woman. And it's just the same for us. Get a good man by your side, but damn, them chances are getting real slim. Oh boy. But I'm just saying, get a good one. If you got one, people, you need to cherish her or him and love her or him, because see, it's already more of y'all in this world than us everywhere you go. Let me tell you something about when I was in South Africa, and I don't want to get off the top. It was legal for a man to have more than one family. And I used to look around and observe this thing, and I was like, I'm going to be honest with you. It's something about that way of life that I could get with. I understand I could have a co-wife. Now, I ain't talking about me and her doing nothing. I'm straight. I want you, not her. I'm just saying there'll be two of us serving him.
So you're in polygamy. You're into polygamy.
You can call it what you want to call it. Remember, I don't like labels.
All right.
I don't like labels, but I'm just saying I love the chemistry of it only because statistics are real. You can ignore them all you want. There are more men in this world than women everywhere you go, and surely here in Grenada. So because we were born kings and queens, we can go back to feminism. Like I said, it's the law. We were born that way. It's really our culture. But because they said it was something else, ugly, like everything we have culture-wise, they make it ugly, and then we start to believe it, and then we don't even want to be African.
So I just want to clarify to the people.
Yeah.
And if you do your history, and that's a problem, we don't teach history.
Yeah, it's
schools.
history. It's history.
Yep. I wanted to just put in the point that prior to colonization, prior to the transatlantic slave trade, Africans practiced matriarchy. Okay. The patriarchal mindset came in and was introduced to us during slavery. That's where we learned that.
Absolutely.
I just want to make sure I just get that in there.
Absolutely. Thank you. So
Yeah.
for and I'm not saying it's for everybody. I know some women in South Africa, they say, oh no, I would never do that. But what it does, it leaves nobody out. See, we got it shortest, and it keeps you from labeling your man as a cheater. Oh, he cheating. He ain't cheating. It's in his DNA. He was born. It was in his DNA. It was ripped away from him, just like his name, his religion, and his culture, and everything else. It was ripped away from him, so he was made to believe he's something else or someone else, and that is ugly. Now, that might be going a little bit too deep. We ain't got to go there, but I'm just saying it could be a solution.
Look, the feminist movement they don't come after you, man. Like, I mean,
I'm just saying.
Let me put it in the context for people, for our viewers, okay? She believes in women's empowerment, okay? So just make sure that we understand that.
Yes, I do.
And you're hearing a woman say that, not a man.
Yes, that's right.
Sam,
can I read my womanism theory to them, my definition for the ones that just came in?
Sure.
Okay, womanism, a social theory based on the history and everyday experiences of Black women. It seeks to restore the balance between people and the environment, nature, and reconcile human life with the spiritual dimension. So I'd rather go with womanism opposed to feminism, because I believe feminism plays against us. We get totally left out of that. We're not in nothing that somebody's advocating for the women's rights on the basis of equality of the sexes. We ain't never been equal to nothing. See, white women ain't never been denied to vote. They ain't never been denied education. We sitting around here with most of our men on this island 30 years and under can't read. We know damn well our men ain't got no business being 30 years and under and can't read and comprehend. Look at the situation they done left us in. I'm not saying we shouldn't be taking responsibility for ourselves. I ain't saying that. I'm a teacher in Antigua, a teacher in South Africa. I teach. I was teaching bus drivers coming up to me in Antigua. Can you teach us how to read? I was like, really? First, I'm thinking it's for their kids. I was so honored to meet with them by the water on lunchtime. We have no business being in the situations that we are in. And if you can't read and comprehend, you damn sure ain't gonna be able to understand, listen, and comprehend what your woman. You ain't gonna be able to do that. I'm sorry. Because you already feel too low and down on yourself. I'm really pissed off at what they did to us. Somebody owe us. So every time we have a reparations conversation, they tell me, Natural, please don't
silence your voice. Yeah. Don't speak
yet. Well, wait a minute.
The fair, everybody's fearful.
Oh man, well look, I ain't afraid no more.
That's why we're having this show, because this show is about having the type of conversation that nobody else is having. That's why I
commend you. I commend the both of you. I really do. Please keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you. Sam, I just comment on this point. Based on what Natural said, what is your take?
I think what we're being confused with is rights versus abilities. And I don't expect a woman to do everything that I can do. And I don't think that they should want to do everything that I can do. And in certain pockets of feminism, that is what they want. That whatever a man could do, we can do, and we could probably do it better. And we need to understand that there are physiological differences. We are different in the way we think and everything. And so I don't want to think like a woman, and I don't expect a woman to think like me, but together, I believe that's where we are functioning part of society, because we need both sides. And when you have a woman's input in a lot of situations, you realize that she adds a certain element that we've been missing. And so we complement each other. And in feminism or womanism, it should seek to address that. So it's just about the rights and putting people where they belong. as a part of the picture. They need to be heard and they need to be included. However, it's not like, okay, well, if you're a woman and a man and you come to a construction site, then I expect you to lift 3 bags of cement all at once. No, we have to exercise wisdom. You know, that's not what it's about. And some people believe that's what it's about. And so they're in competition with us. And they want us to feel as though we're in competition with each other, but we're not. It's not a competition. We're trying to survive. Now, when it comes to the dating pool, I had a conversation with a friend of mine some years ago. And she was saying, Sam, the men I'm meeting, they're all the same. And I like I said, I like to observe. And so I said, where are you meeting these guys? And she's meeting all of them the same place. She used to hang out at a particular place in town on a Friday evening. So I said, you're looking for a particular man who is not where you are. So is he supposed to come to your house? Where is he supposed to meet you? And so sometimes we are not presenting ourselves in a situation where what we want is. So we want the opportunity to come to us. So we want to just go about going wherever we want, doing whatever we want, and whatever we want is somewhere else, and it should leave where it is. So I said, you know, I'm going to invite you out to some cocktails because you describe what you want and the type of jobs. And so some of the men that you're describing, they're not going to be here. Trust me. Some may chance upon the venue, but it's not a common thing. So I would say, okay, come, and I'm going to invite you some people, some young men, you know, just have conversation, and I would just leave her and let her talk. And then she started to understand that there are different circles of people, and that what she was looking for is just not where she was. So sometimes we blame, we say we can't see certain things.
You froze. Sam froze.
We don't put ourselves in the right place to, you know. I'm back.
Sam, just repeat the last, your closing statement here, because you are lagging a bit. Oh, maybe you didn't hear.
I was just saying that sometimes we want something, but we don't go to get it. We want our opportunities to come and meet us. And so we would go to the same places and do the same things over and over. This relationship failed. So we go back to the same place.
Something is happening, Sam. Can you hear us?
My internet is really messing with me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
I can hear you.
We all had that internet problem since after, you know, it went. We wouldn't call the company name. We may need them to sponsor the show. You know what I mean? But, you know, we'll holler at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you just now that we're getting you, know that you're not lagging, just just finish up.
Put yourself in a position to receive. Yeah. So don't blame life in general.
Oh, no.
But you need to think about where you are and what you're doing.
Oh.
I don't know what's happening to the internet.
Well, Sam, thank you. I caught most of it. You was chopping up there. But I just want to say, if you think, see, this is why I don't put labels on myself, because if you think that women, and I've talked to a lot of women, so I think I feel safe talking for most of the women, want to be equal to you in that sense, it's not so. I know a group of healthy women who want to know that we can call our man or just know that, like, if my car break down, even if he can't come get it, he can send somebody. Like, just to know that he's there, like he's a man. He's like, I just want to fall in his arms or just go home and know that the strength of him
Oh,
I don't want to be. I don't think most of the women I know, we don't want to be like anything you can do, I can do better. Ain't nobody competing like that. That don't even make sense to the women I know. But what does make sense is a whole lot of these women out here been kinging and queening for a very, very long time for their self, raising their children for their self, because y'all believe in us.
Yeah.
Y'all
we're going to deal with that.
Now,
we're going to deal with that.
This thing is a bit too unhealthy and it's too big. And our race right now, I'm narrowing that thing down to Africans. We can call ourselves Grenadians, Trinidadians, stolen slaves, boy, I don't care what, but that thing, and I'm telling you, these women been having the king and queen for a very, very long time. I got too many nieces that got babies and ain't got no daddies. Now, I'm just saying they ain't the healthiest people, but somebody got to fix that. This thing, we so accustomed to taking care of ourselves, we got to figure out how to go be a construction worker and do it better than you, because we got to prove ourselves. We got to do this for our babies and ourselves. It's like half of the women in Grenada is raising their children on their own. You know how many women I talk to a day down at the market and meet their children?
Yep.
I be crying for them.
Yep.
I be like, what the? And it's our men. It's men that I talk to every day, because my booth is by the window. So for some reason, the universe that made me like some kind of market counselor. So they can come up to my window and break down crying. They can come up to my window and just want to know who I am. It'd be sad. I cry with them sometimes because our men believing us. Yes, Carl.
I just think we also need to put something into perspective here. What in my opinion, because I study a lot about history, and my understanding is that because we were economically castrated, so economically we feel castrated as men, we're not able to provide. So that could tend to play out itself in many different ways. Okay, because in Grenada, the minimum wage can't even buy groceries in Grenada. So let's just be honest, okay? Because we're economically castrated, we tend to assert our masculinity in other ways. So it might be the abuse, it might be gender-based violence or whatever. But then also when you have women who are as masculine as us, because of the situation, we tend to feel belittled and then we run. So it's either one, we go on the aggressive side, or we leave, we retreat, and then we leave our children. So the children is a casualty of that dynamic or that war. And it's all coming from an economic perspective. But that's just one perspective. There's many different.
And it's a good one. And what it says is that we, right here, we and everybody in this chat, because you're here for a reason, we have a responsibility to the next generation. I'm so glad you just talked about this youth program where you're going to be meeting with the young guys, Sam was saying or something. It's our responsibility, y'all. We in trouble. And COVID ain't got nothing to do with it. We in trouble as a people. And we got to fix this. And if we don't start training up our next generation, it's our responsibility. It really is. I've been a youth advocate for years now. Like everywhere I go, I become more than a youth advocate. I become their mother, their auntie, their everything. Like everywhere I live, I get texts every day. I get Facebooks every day because I wear many hats and I leave my footprint everywhere I go. And it's not because I'm just trying to leave my footprint. It happens naturally because we really have a natural responsibility. I hope everybody on here tonight can open up their mind and their heart and take responsibility. We got to train these young people up in a different way. We got to teach them the truth. And if you don't know the truth yourself, wait till you find it, because you'll just be handing down some other toxic stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
They got to know that they are worthy. One, they got to know that education is everything. You can't be 30 years old and can't read and write and you come on, ain't nothing wrong with you. It's somebody that made you feel that bad about yourself. Every human being can learn. I don't know who that made you think you can't learn. You know where we come from? We come from good stock. Our ancestors were powerful. We can't make the same mistakes that they made. We got to do this thing different. And it's our responsibility. So everybody need to be creating a youth group. For real, for real.
I agree. All right, so guys, we got 5 more minutes. I would really encourage you to take the opportunity to put whatever quick questions in the chat or any quick comments because we're closing in 5 minutes. But Sam, do you agree with me when I made that analysis about being economically castrated and the problems that associates with that as a man? Do you agree with me, or what is your position on that?
I agree with you to a particular point because yes, we're in need and our needs are being used against us. But as you know, I run this Jobs in Grenada and the Facebook page. And 65% of the subscribers are females. And about 75 to 80% of the applications that we receive, and I'm talking thousands, are females.
Sam,
So
there's a
it
deeper
means that more women are interested in seeking
employment. Okay.
Pardon, you got that right?
Yeah, you said more women are seeking employment, and I agree. But like I said, we're dysfunctional.
So when natural said that when natural said that the women have to get out there and try to do things that the men are doing are better, I reinforce her point by saying that the women are actually trying harder than men to seek employment, and I have the statistics to prove it because I've been running this page since 2017. So I have 4 years worth of stats to show that the women are more interested in becoming employed than men.
Yeah,
and it's a problem. It's
Sam,
staggering.
It is a problem. It is a problem. I really like to look at things from a much larger perspective because I believe that, for instance, people always say there is a crab in the barrel mentality that Black people have, right? But my thing is, who are the ones putting crabs in barrels? So I like to look at the system. A system is breathing that type of dysfunctionality. I don't know. Just quickly, we have 2 minutes. But
when you realize that you're not a crab, they can't sell that to you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. So who's putting crabs in barrels? Tell me your closing comments, guys.
I want to say stop looking for a job. That's what I want to say to us.
Okay. All right.
I want to say go back to your roots. That's what I want to say. I want to say entrepreneurship is in our DNA. Okay. If you don't know what DNA is, go back and look. Because sometimes we can think we know the meaning of words. It could be a simple word, and we don't really know what it means. It's in our DNA. It's in our imprint. And boy, I'm telling you, entrepreneurship is in our DNA. I want to say stop. I want to say create. Ain't no jobs. What you looking for? We're on 138 square miles that have very little of anything. We only got enough beds if one of us gets sick of COVID right now. Stop looking for jobs. I want to say create your own. I'm challenging you now. And you might say, well, no, maybe it ain't for everybody, but give it a try because it's something called God-given talents. You was born with them. I was born with them. I'm not the only one that got them. And they're deep down inside. The only sad thing is some of us die and go to our grave never tapping into their God-given talents. Challenge yourself. Create your own business.
Wonderful. Sam, closing comments?
I would agree. And even if you can't necessarily sustain yourself with your own business, there's always something that you can do. You can run a little side hustle, and sometimes that can become your main income earner. So, but it's us understanding ourselves. And what I realized over the years in speaking to people regarding jobs is that they don't necessarily understand their skills and understand their worth and what they know. They don't know themselves. And in looking through their CVs and talking to them, and I can say, but you have experience in XYZ, and they don't see that way. because their employers employ them to do X, Y, Z, and so they're stuck at the level of their job description and not necessarily their responsibilities and experiences and what they have learned. And so we are kind of, whatever labels people give us, that is what we accept. So I say, experiment, do something, make some kind of soap. Naturalists doing our jewelry. I was on our page this morning. I was looking at the sea moss and all these things she was talking about. Do something. There's so much you can do. And whenever you are in a job, you can look around and see that there's a need in the organization. And sometimes you just have to be the one to try and fill that need, and right there and then you become a vendor. But
An entrepreneur.
stop. Yeah, yourself,
Yep.
because you understand that industry now. You understand the needs of the industry. But what it takes is for you not to just go and sit in your job like a robot, spit out work, and then go back home. You have to understand what you're doing and put a deeper meaning to it. And then things are going to open up to you, and you're going to say, huh, I understand that this is a niche market within this industry, and maybe I could tap into it. So we have to open our eyes, and things are going to happen for us.
Perfect,
That
guys.
was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Guys, trust me, this is just the beginning. We have conversations until aliens come. All right? Hey, don't worry. So, guys, I really appreciate the viewers. I really appreciate your contribution and your questions. Please stay tuned to next Friday. I'm going to advertise who is going to be our next guest. We're going to be tackling some dysfunctional behaviors that we have normalized. So stay tuned to the page. A Few Good Men, guys. Thank you so much.
Y'all.
Natural, we appreciate for attending. Sam, appreciate you as usual. All right, guys. Good night.
Have a blessed night.
All right.